Welcome to Incredible Crime Story. Today's tragic story is titled The Tragic Tale of Ashley Doolittle. A life-cut short. Ashley Doolittle was born into a close-knit, loving family in Louisville, Colorado. From the moment she arrived, it was clear that she was destined to be a bright and shining light in the lives of everyone she touched. Her parents, Marie and Jeff Doolittle, described Ashley as a compassionate and spirited child, always eager to help others and driven by an unyielding passion for life. Growing up, Ashley was surrounded by love and support, which allowed her to explore her interests fully. From a very young age, it was evident that Ashley had a special connection with animals, particularly horses. Her parents fondly recalled how, at just 5 years old, Ashley begged for a pony, promising to take care of it herself. Seeing the determination in her eyes, her parents relented, and soon a small, gentle pony named Daisy became Ashley's first equine companion. Weekends at the Doolittle household were often spent at the stables, where Ashley would immerse herself in the care of Daisy and other horses. Her father, Jeff, would watch with admiration as Ashley, even as a little girl, took her responsibilities seriously. She would meticulously groom Daisy, feed her, and ensure she had everything she needed. Ashley's dedication was a clear indication of the deep bond she shared with her animals, a bond that only grew stronger as she matured. As Ashley grew older, her love for horses developed into a full-fledged passion for the rodeo. She became actively involved in the Boulder County 4-H horse program and the Future Farmers of America, FFA. Her involvement in these organizations was more than just a hobby. It was a reflection of her commitment to the equestrian community and her desire to excel in everything she did. Ashley wasn't just known for her skills in horseback riding, she was also recognized for her kindness and generosity. Whether it was helping a fellow rider during a competition or offering encouragement to a younger participant, Ashley was always there with a smile and a helping hand. Her warm and empathetic nature made her a beloved figure in the community, and she quickly became a role model for many. By the time Ashley reached her teenage years, she had already achieved significant success in the rodeo circuit. She was crowned the Boulder County Fair Rodeo Queen, a title she wore with pride and humility. Her parents, who had supported her every step of the way, couldn't have been prouder of the young woman she had become. Ashley's achievements were a testament not only to her talent, but also to the values of hard work, dedication, and compassion that had been instilled in her from a young age. Despite her many accomplishments, Ashley remained grounded. She was a loyal friend, a loving daughter, and a compassionate soul who always put others before herself. Her plans for the future were just as ambitious as her past achievements. Ashley had dreams of attending Colorado State University, where she hoped to continue her studies in agriculture and animal science. She envisioned a future where she could combine her love for horses with her desire to make a positive impact on the world. But behind Ashley's bright smile and unwavering determination, a storm was brewing, one that would tragically cut her life short and leave a community in mourning. Achievements and aspirations. Ashley Doolittle was not just a participant in the rodeo community, she was a rising star whose achievements inspired everyone around her. Her involvement in the Boulder County 4-H horse program was a significant part of her life, and she poured her heart into it. The program, which focuses on developing young people's leadership and life skills through hands-on learning with horses, was a perfect fit for Ashley. She excelled in every aspect, from riding to horse care, and her natural leadership qualities made her a standout among her peers. In addition to her work with 4-H, Ashley was also an active member of the Future Farmers of America, FFA, an organization that prepares young people for careers in agriculture and leadership. Ashley's passion for agriculture, particularly animal science, was evident in everything she did. She was a diligent student, always eager to learn more about the subjects she loved, and she quickly became a respected member of the FFA community. Her dedication to the rodeo and agriculture communities did not go unnoticed. In 2015, Ashley was crowned Boulder County Fair Rodeo Queen, a prestigious title that recognized her contributions and accomplishments. As Rodeo Queen, Ashley had the opportunity to represent the Boulder County Fair at various events, where she promoted the rodeo, agriculture, and the values of hard work and perseverance. Ashley took her role as Rodeo Queen seriously, understanding the importance of being a positive role model for younger girls who looked up to her. She embraced every opportunity to mentor others, offering guidance and support to those who shared her passion for horses. Her kindness and generosity left a lasting impression on everyone she met, and she became a beloved figure in the community. Her plans for the future were just as inspiring. Ashley had been accepted to Colorado State University, where she planned to pursue a degree in animal science. She dreamed of a future where she could combine her love for horses with her academic pursuits, perhaps even working in equine therapy or veterinary medicine. Ashley's aspirations were a reflection of her deep commitment to helping others and her desire to make a meaningful impact on the world. But as she looked forward to a bright future, the darkness in her personal life was growing more intense, and the tragic events that would soon unfold would shatter those dreams forever. Relationship dynamics. Ashley Doolittle met Tanner Flores during her teenage years, and like many young relationships, theirs began with excitement and the thrill of first love. However, beneath the surface of what seemed like a typical teenage romance, there were troubling signs that would later prove to be catastrophic. Tanner, who was also from Berthoud, Colorado, initially seemed like a charming and attentive boyfriend. He and Ashley shared a love for the outdoors and often spent time together enjoying activities like hiking and horseback riding. However, as their relationship progressed, Tanner's behavior began to change. He became increasingly possessive and controlling, often expressing jealousy over Ashley's interactions with others, especially other boys. Friends and family noticed the shift in Tanner's demeanor. He would frequently demand to know Ashley's whereabouts, question her about her friends, and even show up unannounced when she was out. While Ashley tried to assure him that he had nothing to worry about, Tanner's insecurities only deepened, leading to frequent arguments and tension between the two. Ashley, who was naturally kind and empathetic, tried to help Tanner work through his issues. She believed that he could change and that their relationship could improve with time. However, Tanner's behavior only became more erratic. He began isolating Ashley from her friends, insisting that she spend all her time with him. He would often guilt-trip her into canceling plans with others, making her feel responsible for his emotional state. Despite these red flags, Ashley remained committed to Tanner, hoping that their relationship could return to the way it was when they first started dating. However, the stress of Tanner's controlling behavior began to take a toll on Ashley. She confided in close friends about her concerns, expressing doubts about the future of their relationship. Her friends urged her to break up with Tanner, recognizing the unhealthy dynamics that were developing. Eventually, Ashley realized that she could no longer continue in a relationship that was becoming increasingly toxic. She made the difficult decision to end things with Tanner, hoping that the breakup would be a turning point for both of them. Ashley believed that they could both move on and find happiness separately, but Tanner was not willing to let go. The breakup only intensified his obsession with Ashley, and his desperation to win her back quickly turned into something far more dangerous. Day of the incident, June 9, 2016, started like any other day for Ashley Doolittle. As she went about her daily routine, she had no way of knowing that this would be the last day of her life. That morning, Ashley was in good spirits, focused on her plans for the summer and her upcoming college journey. She was excited about the future, despite the recent breakup with Tanner Flores. However, Tanner was far from ready to move on. He had been consumed by anger and despair since the breakup, his thoughts dominated by the belief that he couldn't live without Ashley. His feelings of rejection and loss had festered into a dangerous obsession, and he had become fixated on the idea of getting her back, or ensuring that if he couldn't have her, no one else could. On that fateful day, Tanner reached out to Ashley, pleading with her to meet him. He insisted that he just wanted to talk, to have some closure, and to say goodbye properly. Despite her reservations, Ashley agreed to meet him, hoping that it would be a peaceful conversation that would allow both of them to move forward. The two met at Lon Hagler Reservoir, a secluded spot near Berthoud that they had visited many times before. The location, which had once been a place of fond memories for the couple, would soon become the site of a horrific crime. As they talked, it quickly became clear that Tanner was not interested in closure. He was agitated, his emotions boiling over as he confronted Ashley about the breakup. He accused her of betraying him, of moving on too quickly, and of not caring about his feelings. Ashley tried to calm him down, but her words only seemed to fuel his anger. The situation escalated rapidly. Tanner, overcome by rage and jealousy, pulled out a gun that he had brought with him. In a horrifying moment of violence, he shot Ashley twice in the head, killing her instantly. The life that had once been so full of promise and potential was extinguished in an instant. In the aftermath of the shooting, Tanner's actions became even more disturbing. He placed Ashley's lifeless body in his truck and drove nearly 40 miles to his family's property in Larimer County. There, in a twisted attempt to cover up his crime, he tried to hide her body in an outbuilding. But no matter how hard he tried, Tanner couldn't erase what he had done. Investigation and arrest. When Ashley failed to return home that evening, her family immediately knew something was wrong. She was always responsible and reliable, and it was unlike her to disappear without a word. Panic quickly set in, and they contacted the police to report her missing. The investigation into Ashley's disappearance moved swiftly. Her friends and family provided crucial information about her relationship with Tanner, and it didn't take long for law enforcement to zero in on him as a person of interest. The police, aware of the volatile nature of their recent breakup, understood the urgency of the situation. Authorities quickly traced Tanner's movements and were able to locate him at his family's property in Larimer County. When they arrived, they found him in a distressed state, his behavior erratic and his emotions on edge. Tanner initially tried to deny any involvement in Ashley's disappearance, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. The police found Ashley's body hidden on the property, and Tanner was immediately taken into custody. During the interrogation, Tanner eventually confessed to the murder, detailing the events that led up to the tragic shooting. His confession was chilling, as he described how his feelings of rejection and anger had driven him to commit the unthinkable. The community was left in shock and mourning as news of Ashley's murder spread. The vibrant, caring young woman who had touched so many lives was gone, and the senselessness of her death left everyone grappling with the harsh reality of what had happened. The trial of Tanner Flores was a momentous event that gripped the community and brought to the forefront the tragic consequences of an obsession turned deadly. The courtroom was packed with family members, friends, and concerned citizens, all waiting to hear the details of what had happened on that fateful day and to see justice served for Ashley Doolittle. The prosecution's case. The prosecution's case was built on the argument that Tanner Flores had premeditated the murder of Ashley Doolittle. They contended that Tanner's actions in the days leading up to the murder, borrowing his father's .22 caliber revolver, visiting Carter Lake to practice shooting, and the increasingly erratic and controlling behavior toward Ashley, were clear indications that he had planned to kill her. The prosecution also focused on the type of weapon Tanner used in the crime. The revolver was a single-action firearm, meaning that after each shot, Tanner had to manually cock the hammer to prepare for the next one. This detail was crucial because it suggested that Tanner had multiple opportunities to stop and reconsider his actions, yet he chose to continue. Each pull of the trigger required deliberate action, reinforcing the prosecution's argument that the murder was not a crime of passion, but one of cold-blooded deliberation. Witnesses were called to testify about Tanner's behavior leading up to the murder, his controlling nature, and the alarming messages he had sent to Ashley and others in the days before her death. Friends and acquaintances recounted how Tanner had become increasingly possessive and unstable, especially after Ashley ended their relationship. The prosecution also presented evidence of Tanner's attempts to cover up the crime, such as disposing of the phones and trying to manipulate text messages to create a false narrative. The defense's argument. The defense, on the other hand, sought to portray Tanner as a heartbroken and confused young man who acted in the heat of the moment. They argued that while Tanner did kill Ashley, it was not premeditated. Instead, they claimed that the situation escalated during an emotional conversation about their relationship, leading to a tragic and impulsive act. Tanner's defense team tried to cast doubt on the idea that he had planned the murder by emphasizing his distraught state of mind. They argued that his actions were driven by intense emotions and a lack of ability to cope with the breakup. The defense also highlighted Tanner's youth and inexperience, attempting to garner sympathy from the jury by painting him as a troubled young man who made a horrific mistake rather than as a cold-blooded killer. Tanner's testimony. One of the most anticipated moments of the trial was Tanner's testimony. Taking the stand in his own defense, Tanner recounted his version of events, describing the emotional turmoil he felt after Ashley broke up with him. He admitted to shooting her, but insisted that he did not plan the murder. Tanner claimed that during their conversation, Ashley made a comment about wanting to explore other relationships, which he said triggered his actions. According to Tanner, he snapped and reached for the revolver, shooting Ashley in a moment of blind rage. However, under cross-examination, the prosecution dismantled Tanner's narrative, pointing out inconsistencies in his story and challenging his claims of an impulsive act. They reminded the jury of the evidence that showed Tanner's methodical actions before and after the murder, actions that did not align with a crime committed in the heat of the moment. Verdict and sentencing. After days of testimony, closing arguments, and emotional appeals from both sides, the jury was tasked with deciding Tanner's fate. They deliberated for several hours before returning with their verdict. On October 4, 2017, Tanner Flores was found guilty of first-degree murder and second-degree kidnapping. The jury's decision reflected their belief that Tanner's actions were not only premeditated, but also carried out with deliberate malice. During the sentencing phase, the emotional toll on both families was palpable. Ashley's family and friends spoke about the profound loss they had suffered, describing her as a bright, compassionate young woman whose life was cut short by a senseless act of violence. They urged the judge to impose the maximum sentence to ensure that Tanner would never have the opportunity to harm another person. Tanner's family also addressed the court, expressing their sorrow for Ashley's death and the impact it had on their community. They pleaded for leniency, arguing that Tanner's life, too, had been destroyed by his actions and that he deserved a chance at rehabilitation. The judge, however, was unswayed by the defense's arguments for leniency. In a stern and somber tone, the judge sentenced Tanner Flores to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder of Ashley Doolittle. Additionally, Tanner received an extra 32 years for the second-degree kidnapping charge, further ensuring that he would spend the rest of his life behind bars. The sentencing marked the end of a painful chapter for all involved. While justice had been served, the reality was that two families had been shattered beyond repair. Ashley's family was left to mourn the loss of a daughter, sister, and friend who had so much promise, while Tanner's family faced the harsh truth that their son would spend his life in prison, forever defined by the heinous crime he committed. Legacy and impact. In the wake of Ashley's tragic death, her family and friends were determined to ensure that her memory would live on. They established the Ashley Doolittle Memorial Scholarship, aimed at supporting young women involved in the rodeo and agriculture communities, two areas that had meant so much to Ashley. The scholarship not only honors Ashley's passion and dedication, but also serves as a way to continue her legacy of kindness and generosity. Additionally, Ashley's story has been used to raise awareness about domestic violence, particularly among young people. Her family has worked with various organizations to promote education and prevention efforts, hoping to prevent other families from experiencing the same pain they endured. Ashley Doolittle's life, though tragically cut short, continues to inspire and impact others. Her memory is a testament to the importance of love, kindness, and the need to speak out against violence in all its forms. The community that loved her so dearly has ensured that her legacy will never be forgotten and that her story will continue to touch lives for years to come. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this crime story. We have many more crime and mysteries, suspenseful betrayal, and more evilness and strange and horrific stories to tell.